Good morning. It is Thursday, July 8th. I'm Shane Seeley, and this is the CBC Morning Report. In our top story, as many Barbadians wait in the dark to have their electricity turned on for a seventh day after the passage of Hurricane Elsa, the Barbados Light and Power Company is reporting some bumps in the road of the restoration effort. Communications Manager Jackie Marshall-Clark shed some light on the situation, along with issues being faced by some customers who are still without power in communities where the electricity has generally been restored.
Our teams are facing accessibility challenges with restoration due to trees blocking the road. We are currently working with stakeholders to address these issues in Featherbed Lane, St. John, and Prospect in St. Peter. Some light and power customers in restored areas may be experiencing an isolated outage. If power has been restored to your area or street, but you are still without power, there could be damage to the equipment serving your home. It could be anything between the poles and your electrical panel, the transformer on the pole, a broken insulator, a blown fuse, a down service wire, the wire from the pole to your home, or damage to the meter mast, the tube that connects your service wire to your electricity meter. Please contact us at 626-4300 or 626-9000 to report your isolated outage and seek the services of a qualified electrician to ensure that your home is safe to restore.
Now, overnight crews were slated to work on other problem areas in St. Philip, St. Lucie, sections of Whole Town, Christchurch, St. George, and St. John. Today, the restoration effort continues as well.
Our crews will be in the following areas: Christchurch, Browns Gap, Hastings, Graham Hall, Belair, Atlantic Shores, Gibbons, Inchmarlow, Enterprise, and Plover Court. In St. Andrew, Bright Hill, Farley Hill, Shorey Village, Chalky Mount. In St. John, Edgecliff, and Claybury. In St. Joseph, Mears Corner to Bathsheba. In St. Philip, Bottom Bay, Sanford, Casuarina Estate, Atlantic Park, Long Bay Development, and Blades Hill.
Now, as the Barbados Water Authority does their assessments, we are hearing that their preparedness plan, their hurricane preparedness plan, has helped to reduce any extended period of water outages to customers in the aftermath of Elsa. The Director of Engineering, Charles Leslie, explains a key component of the preparation in this year's Atlantic hurricane season has been investing in the BWA's backup, and that's the backup power supply and new water tankers.
We at the Barbados Water Authority would have been investing in generators for some of our locations. We have 28 generators spread across the wastewater and the potable water system, and we're looking to invest in more generators so that every facility would have one. And that investment really helped us because while in the past we would have been totally reliant on the power from the Barbados Light and Power, we were able to, in some instances, especially with the larger facilities, to be self-sufficient and at least, you know, carry ourselves through those initial periods until we got back power from the power company. So we are really thankful for our staff who would have worked above and beyond. I mean, I know some of the guys, they're now beginning to show signs of the tiredness, but they really work above and beyond. We also invested in additional water tanker capacity. Not all of those tankers we were able to get on the road prior to the event. We were able to get some on the road, and that helped to boost our existing fleet.
There are a few customers still without water, and Mr. Leslie assures that they should have regular service in the coming days.
There's a small percentage of the population that does not have the water running through their taps, but our water tanker fleet is out there and is servicing those customers. So we're just asking the customers to be bearing with us. That small percentage, we are looking to get those customers, all of those customers, back online within the coming hours or within the coming days.
Now, COVID-19 numbers are back into the double digits. You'll get the latest details coming up in our COVID-19 updates. A dozen new cases of COVID-19, 3 females and 9 males were identified from the 766 tests conducted by the Best dos Santos Public Health Laboratory on Tuesday. 35 people are now in isolation. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases recorded since March 2020 now stands at 4,108, while the virus has claimed 47 lives. To date, the Public Health Lab has carried out 190,749 tests. A total of 95,695 first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered under the National Vaccination Program, and 71,703 people here in Barbados are fully vaccinated. Over in the U.S., essential workers who helped New York City through the COVID-19 pandemic were honored yesterday with a parade up Broadway. Nurses, doctors, first responders, teachers, bus drivers, and more were riding on floats through a canyon of tall buildings and falling confetti.
It was a parade through downtown to honor heroes, but instead of athletes celebrating a championship victory, it was essential workers being honored for bringing New York City out from a pandemic.
I'm here for all the nurses and doctors and everybody that worked all this pandemic. Thanks God for them and God bless them all. Thank you.
You look like you're almost going to cry.
Yes. I got nieces. I got people that died, you know. So thanks. God bless everybody.
There were over 14 floats carrying nearly 250 types of essential workers, anyone who helped the city get through its darkest days. And dark days they were in March and April last year when New York City was the global epicenter of the COVID pandemic. Millions of residents fled in a matter of days. In all, over 33,000 New York City residents died from COVID. Now, how times have changed. The city is now one of the safest places in the world when it comes to avoiding the virus. On most days, not a single person dies from COVID, thanks to a massive vaccination effort that to date has administered 4.6 million jabs to city residents.
But not everyone is pleased with the timing of this celebration. The unions that represent New York City firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and ambulance drivers called on their members to boycott this parade to bring attention to low wages and what they say have been no salary increases for over 3 years.
The festivities also come at a time when most of the rest of the world is still in the depths of the pandemic. That was something that was not lost on spectators.
I feel for the other country that is suffering right now, but in the same sense, we had been through, but we still have to celebrate for the lives that are alive.
In a city that suffered badly but pulled through and is now saying thank you to all those who made it happen.
Meanwhile, Indonesia has had its worst day of the COVID-19 pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, yesterday, as hospitals there are maxed out.
Wednesday was the country's deadliest day of the pandemic, with 1,040 deaths from COVID-19 reported. Despite new lockdown measures and pledges from the government to provide more hospital beds and supplies, there's no indication of the outbreak actually slowing down. Jessica Washington is more now from Bekasi, which is east of Jakarta.
Jakarta's hospitals and Java's hospitals in general are under unprecedented pressure, and this is where you can see the result of that. This is one of the new COVID-19 burial sites in Bekasi on the outskirts of Jakarta, and as hospitals are under increasing pressure during this second wave of infections here in Indonesia, many patients, many sick people have been turned away from hospitals and forced to isolate at home, no matter how sick they are. And as hospitals are forced to turn away patients because they are already at 90% or 100% capacity, people have to stay home, and it's up to their families to do whatever they can to keep them alive. And in many instances, they're unsuccessful at doing that. Some are trying to buy oxygen tanks or medication to keep their loved ones alive, but the death toll is increasing because of this crisis. These gravediggers have been working non-stop. We've been observing the situation here for the past few hours, and the bodies never stop coming. These men never stop working. Such is the situation, the scale of the crisis here in Indonesia. The Indonesian government says it is working to try to rectify the crisis in some ways, including trying to source more oxygen for those in critical need. That includes trying to source oxygen from neighbouring Singapore. The Health Ministry also says it is attempting to add more beds to hospitals, as well as increase the number of isolation facilities. But healthcare workers say that they are overwhelmed and overrun, and that no matter how many beds there are in these hospitals, the simple reality is that there is not enough healthcare staff to cater for the demand. Right now, there are far too many people falling critically ill in Indonesia for doctors to take care of all of them, and this is the result.
Well, Pearson joins me now to tell you what to expect on the Thursday edition of Mornin Barbados. Pearson, over to you.
Thank you, Shane. If there's one day in the week we all look forward to, it's Thursdays, where we turn the spotlight on our young people and the great things that they're doing. This morning, you'll get to meet a 22-year-old young woman who already owns her business as a music academy. She'll talk to us about her journey till now. Another who at 19 years old is already offering her own skincare line and with those signature personal scents. We'll talk to her a little bit about that too. But we'd also hear today about a farm, a youth farm that has been opened up by IECA. And so Ina Harvey will join us to share about how young people can be engaged in agriculture. That and a whole lot more straight ahead when you join me on Morning Barbados. Back to you, Shane.
Looking forward to it, Pearson. Right here on the morning report, though, some adjustments at the pump. You'll hear how much you're now paying for gas and diesel. Motorists and Barbadian consumers are now paying slightly less for gasoline but more for other petroleum products. The price of gasoline decreased by just 1 cent to $3.87 per litre, while the price of diesel increased by 2 cents to $3.12 per litre. Kerosene will now be sold at $1.32 per litre, an increase of 3 cents. The price of liquefied petroleum products has also increased. LPG 100-pound cylinder, that now costs $148.01. The 25-pound cylinder costs $42.10. For the 22-pound cylinder, you'll have to pay $37.22, and the 20-pound cylinder now costs $33.83. The price adjustments are in keeping with the landed price for these products on the international market. The last price adjustment was last month on June the 6th. Now, Barbados will be seeking to protect roughly a third of its marine environment. The Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, Kirk Humphrey, made the disclosure during a high-level political event hosted by the United Nations Development Programme. He says the Caribbean region's largest resource base is its coastal marine space, with a World Bank report suggesting it has contributed billions to the region's economy. However, Minister Humphrey suggests the marine space and its natural assets, which have traditionally been open access, need to be properly defined and brought into a sustainable management regime built on a solid foundation of research.
We hold the view that a sustainable ocean economy has the potential to transform the lives of communities via development of non-extractive industries that provide higher value-added opportunities. And I think this, as I will try to explain perhaps later, is the thing that we must get right, that balance between extraction and maintaining what is already there. But this is why the idea of protecting 30% of the ocean is so important, and it resonates with Barbados. In so doing, we have to ensure that the benefits outweigh the opportunity costs, and therefore we must have a conversation about compensation for those who may lose their livelihoods as we seek to build out this 30% marine protected areas and so on.
Possible tragedy was averted yesterday morning when fire broke out in Speightstown. As we hear from our Rianne Phillips, quick action from residents saved the day.
2 young men are being hailed as heroes in this community of Church Street Gardens, Speightstown, St. Peter, after they sprang into action this morning to rescue an elderly lady from her burning home. 30-year-old mechanic Dario Walcott was fixing a car nearby when he sounded the alarm around 5 minutes to 9.
I went inside to collect something to fix this car here. And the same time when I opened back the door, I saw the fire.
And 23-year-old Boston Harry continues the story for us.
I just ran into your house and stepped out. Okay, smelled the smoke. It never very foggy though, but I say smoke I had saved she could tell me said it could be anyone, mom. So I tell me said do my best to get she up. She was crying, shouting, saying she all got my skin burning. So I tried my best to get some sheet to wrap up she in and take she by the lady sit down. She asked me for some water, give her some water. She told me that she went in bed, but before she went in bed, she put the kettle on the stove to get some tea. And when she come out in smoke.
As soon as you get the lady out of the house exploded and burned.
Crews from the Bridgetown and Arch Hall fire stations were pressed into action.
On arrival at the scene, the home was fully engulfed. The officers quickly got to work and was managed to save the next house to this particular house. However, there was a total loss of the house which was fully engulfed, which was owned and occupied by Miss Anita Brooms. She's 80 years of age and she sustained burns to her face, hands and legs. She was taken to the hospital via ambulance.
Another property was affected by the blaze with damages along the eave and to a window. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
Haiti is in a state of siege after the President Jovenel Moise was assassinated and his wife wounded in an attack at their home. Neighboring country, the Dominican Republic, has closed its borders with Haiti.
When I speak to my contacts in Port-au-Prince, they say it's pretty quiet there. People are kind of hunkering down in their homes, listening to the radio and really bracing themselves for what might happen next. Remember, this is a very young democracy, only about 35 years old. Jovenel Moise has been accused of trying to solidify his power, staying in office long after he should have left, according to his critics. But this political vacuum right now is potentially very dangerous for the nation of Haiti. Let's see how the last few hours have unfolded.
The home of Haitian President Jovenel Moise is now sealed off, the scene of an assassination that shocked the international community. The nation's deputy prime minister says armed men speaking English and Spanish stormed the house in the early hours of Wednesday, killing the 53-year-old and badly injuring his wife. Violent street protests calling for Moise to step down have been a regular occurrence in Haiti, but there are fears his death and the political vacuum it leaves will plunge this nation into crisis.
I call for the respect of the democratic principles. I urge all the nation's stakeholders to help us in the battle for the continuity of the state. This country is hurt. This nation is hurt. The perpetrators will be taken to justice. Let's keep our calm. The situation is under control.
Jovenel Moise has been ruling by decree after parliamentary elections were delayed in 2019. That led to accusations he was trying to cling to power, but those living close to his home are horrified.
Imagine we live in this area close to the president. Even when we have problems with the president, we can't imagine they will kill him like this.
I heard something go boom, like an earthquake. I thought something under the soil had been turning.
World leaders were quick to condemn the killing, offering their support for the people of Haiti. Colombia's President Ivan Duque says it is a cowardly act full of barbarity against the entire Haitian people. Who the alleged killers are and what their motivation is remain unknown. But the US president says he's monitoring the situation.
We need a lot more information, but it's very worrisome about the state of Haiti.
A state of emergency has been declared, but with the newly appointed Prime Minister yet to be sworn in, there's uncertainty about the path forward. Officials in the neighbouring Dominican Republic have ordered the immediate closure of the border with Haiti. UN troops stationed in Haiti left in 2017, leaving an already fragile democracy exposed, and its people afraid of what may happen next.
Let's go to sports now. We're hearing that all Barbados drafts players have been banned from playing in any tournament sanctioned by the American Checkers Federation. However, the Barbados Checkers and Drafts Federation says the issue will be resolved shortly. The ACF says it has been 20 months and counting since the 2019 World Go As You Please title match between Barbadian Ronald Suki King and Italian Sergio Scarpetta was played, and the referee along with the champion Scarpetta haven't been paid by the Barbados Federation as yet. As a result, the ACF has ruled that all Bajan players are banned from its tournaments for 5 years or until the debt is settled. General Secretary of the Barbados Federation, Hezian King, says the matter will be settled by the Arts and Sports Fund, which has already been given approval. She further notes that the American Federation was given the assurance that the funds will be paid even before they took the vote to bar the local players. Now, the West Indies have named their 15-man squad for the upcoming 3-match one-day international series against Australia at Kensington Oval here in Barbados. Shimron Hetmeyer, Roston Chase and Sheldon Cottrell return to the setup. Against the visiting Pakistan women after winning yesterday's opening one-day international at the Stanford ground in Antigua. Pakistan women were sent into bat and were kept to 205 for 9 off their 50 overs. Skipper Stephanie Taylor took 3 for 29. The Windies women responded with 209 for 5 in 47.5 overs to win by 5 wickets. Once again, it was Taylor who led the way with 105 not out, including 11 fours and 2 sixes. The Windies women lead the ODI series 1-0 after sweeping the T20 series 3-0. Time now to look at weather. The current temperature is as it is the past few days, or is as it has been the past few days. At this time, 26.7 degrees Celsius. It's partly cloudy on the outside today and the relative humidity stands at 85%, so look out for some showers. The barometric pressure, 1014 millibars, the standard, and the winds are coming out of the east at close to 40 kilometers per hour. You'll see a low tide around 9 minutes after 9 this morning. The high tide will come our way at 21 minutes to 4 in the afternoon. Low seas are moderate and open water swells are between 1.5 and 2 meters and holding steady. Here in Barbados today, we'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief isolated light showers. And it will be partly cloudy tonight with a few brief isolated light showers. This is the picture over the Lesser Antilles today and tonight. It will be clear to partly cloudy with a few brief light isolated showers. And looking at the international weather forecast, all around that 30-degree mark, 30 degrees Celsius in most territories, and they're getting some showers and partly cloudy skies as well. And that's it for this edition of the Morning Report. I'm Shane Seeley. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday the 8th of July, 2021. Welcome to Morning Barbados. That's my name. I'm Pearson Bowen. And for those of you joining us on our YouTube channel, Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, wonderful as usual having you company. And on our Facebook streams at CBC Barbados and Morning Barbados, good having you too. Welcome. It's Thursday, the day before the weekend. One thing I just want to say to you before we get going is that cricket, starting tomorrow, that West Indies versus Australia series begins tomorrow with live coverage on 94.7, the best 24/7, and all of the games as well in this three-nation series. So stand by for that coverage tomorrow on 94.7, the best 24/7. All right, it's Thursday, so where do we go today? We go to celebrating all things young and beautiful, and certainly we want to start this morning with a look at our Youth Farm Summer Program. And for that, we turn to Ina Harvey, who is Barbados representative at the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture. Good morning to you, Ms. Harvey.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
You're very fortunate to be on our Thursday program. We're looking at young people today, so good morning, young lady.
Good morning.
So let's talk a little bit about this Youth Farm Program. I find it rather interesting. Why? Why are you having this Youth Farm Program?
Our Youth Farm Program started in 2012 because of our recognition that the youth in agriculture really needed to be promoted and supported. Our farming population is aging, and of course our youth would bring a freshness with innovation and technology, and they would be the future of agriculture. So we started with a pilot with 3 schools that teach agri-science in 2012, and supported by TVET and of course the Ministry of Education. We started doing an NVQ in amenity horticulture. And this program has grown from year to year to the extent now that we have all 15 secondary schools that teach agri-science involved. And TVET has approved the ICA Barbados office as a center for training and assessment for 13 new courses in the agri-food sector. For the Youth Farm Summer Program, we now take 2 students from each of the 15 schools, so it's a cohort of 30 students, and we teach 3 courses: livestock rearing, which is an NVQ at level 1, CVQ, a Caribbean vocational qualification in crop production level 1, and we introduced in 2018 an aquaculture grower operations. So those 3 courses are being delivered, started this week, the 30 students, and we have them for the entire summer.
I like that. You have them for the entire summer. You're really going to truly immerse them into the whole business of agriculture.
Absolutely.
Because it is such an important industry. You know, one has to feed oneself, and food will always be of demand. And so for someone who is quite young, it's not just a plaything that you did with your grandparents. You know, you pull a few weeds and you plant a few herbs. It is actually a business. And so through these modules that you'll be, through this summer program, you'll be teaching people about the business of agriculture.
Absolutely, and not just the business of agriculture, but that for these young people, agriculture can be their career. And there are so many careers that are possible in the whole agri-food chain that they can fit into production, post-harvest handling, veterinary services, you name it, right up from farm right up to table. So we give them practical training, we give them classroom training, and as well 2 weeks apprenticeship with farmers in the private sector, as well as with the Ministry of Agriculture on their research farms, to actually get the feel of what working on a commercial farm is like. And over the years, about 10 of our students have actually secured jobs.
Wow.
With these employers who have found them really innovative and eager to work, and they love agriculture. So we have to stop saying that the youth are not interested in agriculture. They're interested, they're eager, and they need support.
You're absolutely right, and that's why we do on Thursdays. We want to share with young people the opportunities that are abounding out there for them to find meaningful areas to contribute. And so agriculture is one. But aquaponics, because, you know, but when we think of agriculture, we just simply think of the dirt and what comes out of the earth. But there's so much more that happens in agriculture. Just share with me some of the breadth of the subjects that they will be exposed to in just summer program.
Okay, for the livestock rearing, for example, we do it between the Greenland Livestock Research Station, where we have the Barbados black-belly sheep, we have rabbits, we have goats, and we also use some of our private sector farmers who have poultry and pigs. And the youths learn not only the technical aspects of livestock rearing, but how to work as a team, how to carry themselves on the farm in terms of food safety and behavior, for how to milk an animal, how to calculate the amount of milk that is coming after the milking parlor. And what we also do at the end of the entire session, we take them out of the classroom, out of the field, and put them in a business environment, and they receive lectures and training from persons who can provide funding, technical assistance, and so on. So they get the full breadth of what is involved in being in agribusiness. For crop production, they actually produce crops. And at the end of the summer, some of these short-term crops are ready for harvest, and they have a market day where they get experience in packaging, washing and cleaning and packaging their crops and selling to the public, because we invite their parents, their teachers, and their friends to come and see what the children have done. For the aquaculture growth operations, that has been an exciting one for the young people, because it involves a little more technology. They learn how to do fish farming using tanks. They actually learn how to build their own aquaculture system, how to manage the fish, how to determine the gender of the fish, how to manage the quality of the water so that their fish don't get sick and die, and actually how to develop their business in aquaculture. And we've heard from our graduates over the last 2 years, persons getting involved in actually building systems for other people. So it's quite a nice business opportunity for them, and they get hands-on training.
I think the whole subject of agro-tourism is also going to be very, very important as we move it not just to serve ourselves, but to serve those who visit our island as well, and to be able to export beyond thereafter. So how does that work in this summer program? What do you do to move to agro-tourism?
Well, you know, agrotourism is my passion.
I know.
First of all, we tell them what agrotourism is. Because many people, when I tell them I'm an agrotourism specialist, they say, well, what does agriculture have to do with tourism? And I said, well, people eat at least 3 times a day.
Yes.
So then it hits them. We look at agrotourism in ICA from 2 points of view. From the point of view of trade and increasing the linkages between the productive sector and the tourism and food service sector, increasing the supply of fresh and processed foods into the hotel sector. So we emphasize this to the children in the program, telling them about the standards and the quality and the timeliness required for supplying the tourism sector and the food service sector. And of course, the agricultural health and food safety aspects play an important part. The other side of the agrotourism coin is about rural tourism. And this is tourism in rural spaces where you have an authentic experience on a farm, where you can see how things grow, how they're processed, how they're prepared and offered as food, and of course, the entire farm environment, ecotourism, wellness tourism. You can tour and see animals and everything else that happens on a farm. And this type of tourism, rural tourism, is the tourism, I think, that is going to differentiate Barbados' tourism product. With the COVID pandemic, our tourists now want safe bubbles, yet they want open spaces, fresh air, traceable food, and still an authentic experience. So farm stay tourism, visiting a farm, having an experience in a rural environment, eating our own local food, all of those things fit so nicely into a wellness and adventure program post-COVID.
Yes. I've seen presentations by you, and I've seen how you are able to take what is grown seasonally here and be able to transform them into the tourist market and provide delicious dishes as well. And so I'm very excited. I like the way how you can take the ugliness of the words agriculture and make it sound so interesting. You know, it's just a big word for a lot of people, agriculture. Well, okay, what does that mean? But you're able to now show us in real ways how we are able to practically apply all that we know about everything. We take care of animals naturally. We have flowers around us. We know how to take care of those. So let's do that for food. Let's do that for the things that we grow that we need to eat. And then apply that then to making some money as we go as well. So I'm really excited about this, and we want to encourage young people to be a part of the program. Now, the program has already begun, so that means that you have your cohort already. But for the next season, how do people become a part of this summer program?
Our summer program is managed directly through the Ministry of Education with our 15 schools who teach agri-science. So those agri-science students who are the best in class, those are the ones that are selected by the agri-science teachers and the principals to be in the program. We carry them through an assessment. So if you're in school and you really love agriculture and want to be a part of this program, do well in your agri-science subjects. Let your teachers know that you want to be a part of this program, and you will definitely be considered.
All right.
And we also have
go ahead.
a Future Farmers Network, which evolved out of our Youth Farm program. So if you don't get into the Youth Farm summer program and you love agriculture, there is a Future Farmers Network, which we are managing with the support of the Barbados Environmental Conservation Trust, BECT. And this is a group of young people who are going all the way into the business of agriculture. They're developing projects for their young farmers. They have a website. We're doing innovations, and yeah, agriculture is going to go far with these youth.
It does sound so exciting already. I wish I was their age. I wish I could be back in school to get involved now. But even at whatever age, we can all get involved in agriculture because it is a way of life. You know, it's what we eat. It's how we live. So, Ina Harvey, I want to thank you so much again. It is such excitement that you bring to what you do, and I really want to commend you for that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You're very welcome.
Thank you for having Ika on Morning Barbados.
You're very welcome. Ina Harvey, agro-tourism specialist and representative for ICA here in Barbados. Again, that farm youth program, if you are interested in agriculture and you go to any of those schools, get involved. It's going to do you good. It's going to do our country good as well. We're going to take a break right here at 17 to 7, and we're back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is now 15 minutes to go to the hour of 7 o'clock this Exceptional Youth Thursday. I saw a story and I thought we got to talk to her. Sent it to my producer Nadia Foster, and right away she says, in a minute, Pearson, already booked. I loved it. This is such, for me, an interesting story. Her name is Rojanna Holligan, our next guest, and she owns already her own music academy, Pan Carib Music Academy. We're going to talk to her. She's just 22 years old and she's already operating her own business. Rojanna, good morning to you.
Good
morning.
Good morning, Pierce. Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
How are you doing today, Rojanna?
I'm okay. What about you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. I think yours is such an interesting story. 22 years old, and you already own your own music academy. Tell me what started you down this path.
Thank you so much. Just to give you a little background, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I started music, but I started piano. And then when I turned 7, I went to the Youth Pan project, which was before the Pan in Plaza Steel Camp. We played during the summer for about 3 weeks. And by the end of the summer, we were able to play Steel Pan, and it was such an awesome thing for me. And I really said I really wanted to do something like that here in St. Philip.
Wow. You can remember so far back to 7 years old and being excited by the Pan then?
Yeah.
Okay, you're very fortunate to have that long-term memory.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So you have an interest in Pan, but you have an interest in music broadly. Let's talk a little bit about that. You said at a very early age your father was a part of your journey along so far. So how has Daddy walked hand in hand with you along your musical journey?
Well, my dad has been at my side from day one. My dad, when I told my dad that I really wanted to pursue music as a career, you know, it was never a, you know, I'm not sure, or I know you can do music on the side or anything of that. My dad was full on board with my decision because he knew that I was serious about what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. So, and I know you're very serious because you're also very adept at the flute, the saxophone, the drums, the trumpet, the guitar, the piano, the clarinet. You are multi-skilled in all of this. And so I find that rather interesting that this young 22-year-old woman is so good at all of that, but you've moved now to owning your own music academy. So let's talk a little bit about setting that up, the Music Academy. We seem to have just been having a little bit of a rocky connection there with Rogena Holligan. She is the owner of a Pan Crib Music Academy. Of course, you can find them on Instagram, pancrib_246, pancrib_246. We'll try to even that road out just a little bit. But you know, she does more than just that. She can take your little one, or you're a big one too, and teach them so much. And that's where I want to hear a little bit more now about how the academy works and the benefits from joining that academy. 22 years old, got interested in pan from the age of 5 into 7, and she and her father ever since then have been walking lock and step all the way through really her career in music as well. Her name is Rogena Holligan, Pan Crib Music Academy. So Rogena, I'm glad we can have you back now. So tell me a little bit about the Music Academy. When did it start and how's it going so far?
Well, we started in 2019. We have, every year we have our steel camp, steel summer workshop. We run the workshop for about 4 weeks, and by the end of the 4 weeks, the children are able to grasp the pan, be able to perform for their parents and some friends, and they gain a level of steel pan literacy, which is the most important thing.
Why pan?
Our instrument here in the Caribbean. I love pan. I love to play. I see how the tourists come to Barbados and really enjoy playing while I play the steel pan. So I said I really wanted to invest in pans and be able to help my community or any of the students who are interested, any person who's interested.
So you fell in love with pan in the plaza, you love that. But then did you formally train in playing the pan later on?
Yes, I went to community college later on after I left Harrison College, and I did my associate's degree and I majored in pan.
What was entailed in that particular degree program, associate degree program with the college, community college?
Well, with with the degree program, we had to go through, we really had an introduction to everything. So from studio production to arranging to songwriting to conducting for big bands and orchestra. We did so many things during that those 2 years. I had 2 years at BCC, and I said I really would like to encourage any person who is pursuing music to attend the community college here at BCC.
So are these some of your students from Pan Crib?
Yes, please. Yes.
Boy, I like how, look at the eagerness in their body and the way they're playing the instrument. So how many can you accommodate at any given time in a session at Pan Crib?
Well, I have enough pans that 20 people can play at one time.
What are the ages that you would want to cater to?
Well, I started from age 6. And I go all the way up as to in the junior band, probably about 14, 15.
Okay, and here it is, because you're also with the Blackman and Gollop Primary School. You do some tutoring there. Talk to us about that.
Well, that when they asked me, she really wanted to have a steel band here. Blackman and Gollop Primary told her, no problem, I have my pans and I am ready and I'm willing to teach the kids. So what happened was that they had an after-school program that just ran for about an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours Thursday evenings from 3, and that was how we went.
And so far so good, right? You've been going pretty often after that. Look at the smile on your face. Excellent, excellent. I love it. You have such passion for what you do. But business has its own rigors as well. You know, there are things about business that you have to sometimes wipe that smile off the face and crap down at the table to sort out. What are you learning along this journey of operating your own business?
Well, for one, I learned that it is a lot of preparation and organization that is involved in running a business. It can't be one day you'll feel like and then another don't feel like, because you have to be working, especially when you're working for yourself. You have to always be working and trying to create new things so that people can continue interested in your brand and your product. Try to public.
Is this all? Is this all that you do, or is this something else that you also do? The pan crib.
And you mean in terms of teaching?
Well, is that your only profession, or do you do other things as well?
No, that's my only profession.
Right.
That's my only profession.
So here it is now. You are a young lady at 22 years old, and you've invested your future, your life right now, for the moment, into this business. And I'm sure at some point you would have sat and thought, you know, what if it fails? What do I now do? Have you ever had that kind of thought? And if so, talk to me about that.
Well, most of the time, you know, you'll feel that sense of, you know, like the negativity or whatever. And a lot of people too, in terms of, you know, not having maybe a lot of people on board with what your decision in the beginning, because, you know, at 16 years old, nobody is really studying for me to say that I wanted to be a professional musician. I want to own my own music school or whatever the case may be. Maybe try something else and then come back to it or whatever. But that was always what I wanted to do. So I really tell myself all the time to make sure I stick with it.
And that's good, you know, because there's some, perhaps the neighbors who look and say, well, you went to Harrison College, what are you doing with this here? Why can't you be the doctor, the whomever? And what do you say to that kind of doubting Thomas?
I tell myself that to each his own, because at the end of the day, everybody can't be a doctor, everybody can't be a lawyer. And my passion is music. So I would want to go and do something that I know that I'm not comfortable with, or something that I know that I may not really enjoy. If I know I can do what I would really enjoy and put my 100% everything into it.
Tell me about the joys of owning your business. We've heard of the other little bits and pieces. Let's talk about the joys, because your face would light up. Your face lights up so beautifully when you talk about the business. So talk to me about the joys of owning one's own business.
Well, my first joy is to really see all of my students blossom, how they come from different, you know, various backgrounds, all walks of life. But when we come together and we play music, is a different vibe, is a different sense of happiness, you know, when they finally get the notes right and everything. It is so heartwarming. And actually, right now, it's really overwhelming to really talk about, you know, on national television. But I really enjoy what I do. When the students, they really organize most of the things too, because they tell me what songs they want to play, who they want to play for, which events they want to play at, and how they want to dress. They are marvelous. They are marvelous. And
But
their parents, I have to, because their parents are really on board with this whole project and this whole production and everything, from as far as maybe transportation and getting them there and so on and so forth.
Yes. But then you see that development in the child as an individual as well. And you're seeing not just their skill at playing the pan, but growth as the person they are. And, you know, they may have come to you with other challenges, and here it is now suddenly they've been able to overcome it because they've found their place, they've found their passion. And we just shared a video there. Is that one of the avenues, the places where they can now express, as some kind of an event at a hotel or something?
Yes, please. So what happens is that Waves Hotel usually invites us to come and play some music for them. So we do a little presentation, usually around January 1st and so on. And I found that really helped them to be more confident and to be more comfortable playing, because they're not just playing for the parents, they're playing for any person. And the response they really get from the tourists is really, and anybody else that would be at the hotel, they really see the value of, you know, practicing, rehearsals, you know, all their hard work. They're really able to see, you know, yes, people enjoy what we do.
So any parent watching today who think, I want my child to be a part of this music academy, the Pan Crib Music Academy, how can they join up?
Yes, they can contact me. Contact me on my Instagram and Facebook. My number is 252-6089. Call. I have no problems answering any questions, queries you may have. Yes, and let's get this show on the road.
Aye, let's get this show on the road. pancrib_246, or you can call Rojana on 252-6089. Let's get this show on the road. Let's make some stars of our young people as well. But the developmental process along the way through Pancrib is going to be amazing. You will see your child blossom into the beauty that they truly are, because sometimes you can see a shy little withdrawn child who eventually becomes quite a star, because through the Pancrib Academy you open up and you let the beauty of who you are, the spirit of who you are, shine through. And that's what Rojana does with Pancrib 246. Rojana, it is my immense pleasure meeting you this morning. Well done. And I want to encourage you to continue doing well what you are already doing. And I really hope a lot of people just bombard you from today for spaces at Pancrib. Well done, and keep it up. You are, for us, one of our exceptional young people. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Rojana Holligan is her name. Pancrib is her business. Pancrib_246 on Instagram, or call her on 252-6089. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's update you now on the news, and with that, here's Shane Seeley.
Yes, Pearson, here's your 7 a.m. headline news update. And the Barbados Light and Power Company has shed some light on a problem which is slowing down the restoration effort in parts of the country severely impacted by Hurricane Elsa. Communications Manager Jackie Marshall-Clark spoke about the situation in her most recent update.
Our teams are facing accessibility challenges with restoration due to trees blocking the road. We are currently working with stakeholders to address these issues in Featherbed Lane, St. John, and Prospect in St. Peter. Some light and power customers in restored areas may be experiencing an isolated outage. If power has been restored to your area or street, but you are still without power, there could be damage to the equipment serving your home. It could be anything between the poles and your electrical panel, the transformer on the pole, a broken insulator, a blown fuse, a down service wire, the wire from the pole to your home, or damage to the meter mast, the tube that connects your service wire to your electricity meter. Please contact us at 626-4300 or 626-9000 to report your isolated outage and seek the services of a qualified electrician to ensure that your home is safe to restore.
Now, BLMP crews were slated to work overnight on other problem areas in St. Philip, St. Lucie, sections of Whole Town, St. James, Christchurch, St. George, and St. John. And today, the restoration effort continues.
Our crews will be in the following areas: Christchurch, Browns Gap, Hastings, Graham Hall, Belair, Atlantic Shores, Gibbons, Inchmarlow, Enterprise, and Plover Court. In St. Andrew, Bright Hill, Farley Hill, Shorey Village, Chalky Mount. In St. John, Edgecliff, and Clebury. In St. Joseph, Mears Corner to Bathsheba. In St. Philip, Bottom Bay, Sanford, Casuarina Estate, Atlantic Park, Long Bay Development, and Blades Hill.
The Barbados Water Authority is also giving an update on its restoration efforts, despite low reservoir levels linked to excess water use after the passage of Elsa. Director of Engineering Charles Leslie says over 95% of the supply is up and running. He says investment in a backup power supply and additional water tankers were key components in the BWA's hurricane preparedness plan for this year.
We at the Barbados Water Authority would have been investing in generators for some of our locations. We have 28 generators spread across the wastewater and the potable water system, and we're looking to invest in more generators so that every facility would have one. And that investment really helped us because while in the past we would have been totally reliant on the power from the Barbados Light and Power, we were able to, in some instances, especially with the larger facilities, to be self-sufficient and at least, you know, carry ourselves through those initial periods until we got back power from the power company. So we are really thankful for our staff who would have worked above and beyond. I mean, I know some of the guys, they're now beginning to show signs of the tiredness, but they really work above and beyond. We also invested in additional water tanker capacity. Not all of those tankers we were able to get on the road prior to the event. We were able to get some on the road, and that helped to boost our existing fleet.
A dozen new COVID-19 cases reported. 3 females and 9 males were identified from 766 tests conducted by the Best Dos Santos Public Health Lab on Tuesday. 35 people are now in isolation. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases recorded since March last year is now 4,108, while the virus has claimed 47 lives. To date, the Public Health Lab has carried out 190,749 tests. A total of 95,695 first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered under the National Vaccination Program, and 71,703 people are fully vaccinated. Barbadian consumers are now paying slightly less for gasoline, but a bit more for other petroleum products. The price of gas decreased by 1 cent to $3.87 per liter, while the price of diesel increased by 2 cents to $3.12 per liter. Kerosene now will be sold at $1.32 per liter, an increase of 3 cents. Meanwhile, the price of liquefied petroleum products has also increased. The LPG 100-pound cylinder is now selling at $148.01. The 25-pound cylinder now costs $42.10. The 22-pound cylinder, $37.22, and the 20-pound cylinder will cost our retail at $33.83. The price adjustments are in keeping with the landed price for these products on the international market. And finally, we go over to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where the National Emergency Management Organization, better known as NEMO, remains concerned about the risks of LARS, or destructive mud flows, given the amount of material expelled during the recent explosive eruptions. Director Michelle Forbes says the material will take some time before it's brought down by heavy rains.
Even though we would have had eruption prior to that in 1979, we see that when we have flooding, heavy rainfall coming down from the Rabica, material come down. It means that a lot of material is still in the mountains and will be in the mountains for some time and on the flanks of the volcano to come down into the gullies and into the valleys. So that's one of our greatest threats going forward.
Headline News, I'm Shane Seeley. Back over to you, Pearson.
Shane, thank you. We're approaching 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're taking a break here. When we're back, our Crumbs question of the day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time truly goes swiftly when you're having some fun. Fun time now. Time for you to win with Crumbs Bakery. Remember, it's time for our Crumbs question of the day. You give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. 228-5562 or 228-5563 because here comes today's Crumbs question of the day. That question today is, how many seats does the Frank Collymore Hall hold? How many seats does the Frank Collymore Hall hold? Do you know? If you've bought an event there, you would know. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So get cracking. How many seats does the Frank Collymore Hall hold? How many seats does the Frank Collymore Hall hold? Get a chance to win right now with Crumbs, bakery crumbs, really tasty, right down to the very last crumb. 228-5562 or 228-5563. You can guess, it's all right. I say you're right or I can say you're wrong. So how many seats does the Frank Collymore Hall hold? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. What part are you watching us from?
Good morning. St. Michael.
Okay, what's your answer, ma'am?
100.
That is not right. Thank you for trying. Thank you for calling. That's not right. That is so little. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So now you know it's greater than 100. Much more than 100 as a matter of fact. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The question is right there on the screen. How many seats does the Frank Collymore Hall have? Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good. What parish are you watching from?
St. Andrews.
St. Andrew. All right. What's your answer?
250.
You're sticking with that answer?
That's correct.
You're going to hold on to that till Thy Kingdom come?
Yes.
Let go, because you're wrong. Let it go, ma'am. Thanks, Andrew. Nah, dead wrong. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Much more than 250. So now we're going for larger numbers. How many seats does the Frank Collymore have? Frank Collymore Hall have? How many? 228-556463. Good morning. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. What parish are you watching from?
St. John.
St. John. Good, St. John. What's your answer? 500. What should I tell you? You hold that?
If I what?
You're holding to that answer?
I'm holding to it, yes.
What? Why are you holding on so tightly to 500?
Because.
Because? What? Say it again?
500 people.
It just sounds to you like a really good number to call, right? Madam from St. John, are you there? Is she there? You're breaking up. What's going on? You're breaking up just a little bit, but nevertheless, I'll give it to you. You're just one extra. That's perhaps a seat in the corner. It's really 499.
100. Oh, so 499.
Yeah, so you guessed well. Well done, Miss St. John. You stay on the phone right there. Stay right there, all right? Someone will be talking to you right now. You're welcome. Thank you, too. I'll take it. 499 is the correct answer to our question today. That's how many seats you'll find in the Frank Collymore Hall. That's our Crumbs question for today. And tomorrow, should God spare life, we'll have another question, another opportunity for you to win. We're back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
That's what we're about today, our exceptional youth at 60 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let me introduce you now to a 20-year-old Barbadian woman who already owns two businesses. Two businesses. Her name is Crystal Harding. Crystal, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Don't be shy on me, Crystal. Good morning indeed. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Crystal. You are owner of two businesses. What are those two businesses?
One would be Celeb Me Please, which is customized clothing, and one would be Celeb Customs, which is also customized clothing but in the farm painting.
All right. Why did you decide to step into the business world and own your own companies?
About when I was 16 years old, yeah, I wanted to start a business because a lot of my friends were saying, well, to start a business because I was good at what I like to do and stuff. Because it's just really a hobby at first, and then, well, my friends say you should start selling them because a lot. Well, I want how much you would charge me to make one, and so on. So they didn't make it into a business around that time.
You were around 16 years old at the time.
Yes, please.
So it's now about 4 or so years that you've been doing this, and how would you describe the journey so far?
It have been rough around the edges, but when you have a passion for some things that you love, it will always come true. Because at some points, I won't have the motivation I need to feel like I want to continue. So I have stopped. Around the first year, I stopped, then I start back again, then I start back, and so on, so on, so on. So like, if something bad go wrong, I would just stop. I don't want to go on, but then I decided that maybe to start letting things get me down and just keep going, even though everything else may seem bad, to just keep going regardless.
And that's your big lesson until now, to just keep going. You will meet obstacles along the way, but as your obstacles are met, that's your reason for you to keep going, press through for your strong finish, as we say here on Morning Barbados. But you wanted at first to be a dermatologist, I'm told, and you decided now to put that on hold. Why?
Because where is it? Oh, when I was about to go to the school, I was supposed to go Barbados Youth Service, which would have put me on the right track and right school and stuff. And then around that time is when the COVID had started, so we didn't get to go to youth service, and we didn't get to start the school and all that. And then I couldn't do it. I had to put it on hold because then during the COVID, things was different and harder and stuff. So I had to get a job to help on the house and stuff. So I couldn't go to school also, or we couldn't go to DDF also, so that was a whole.
And unfortunately, though, you had your businesses to fall back to. So Celeb Me Please is your customized business where you do what?
I make clothes, like swimsuits and clothes. I just like revamp stuff, like I would make old clothes into something new. Or I make stuff from scars, or I just make stuff from material I may buy. And same thing to do with swimsuits and stuff, that is just material. But stuff like the scarf and clothes and stuff is things that I will revamp and so on so into something like new and different, which should make it look. Because I don't like to look the same as everybody else. That's what made me really want to like make clothes into different things and not the same thing like everybody else is wearing.
We were just looking at some pictures of some of your designs. So let me see if I'm clear. You want to make us look like celebrities. So you're going to dress us up, so to speak, right? Is that what the Celeb Me Please is all about?
Yes, please.
Right. And then you take some items and you can repurpose those items. I saw the one where the bank's girl, for instance. If you could bring those pictures back up so we can talk about it a little bit closer, where we saw you I don't know, I am assuming you took somewhat of the fabric and you repurposed it into a swimwear. Is that what you did?
Yes, please.
And that's so. Therefore, if I want to avail myself of your services for Celeb Me Please, let's say if I had this old shirt and I brought it to you, you can take that shirt and make something completely different with it.
Yes, sir.
Am I the one that says to you what I want done, or would you be the one who says, here's what we can do with this?
In some cases, a person will say, well, they want a shirt into a dress and so. And then if it's something that possible, yes. But then if it's not, then it will give them different suggestions as to what they could make it into to make it proper, because it's got different materials and different types and ways that you can go around revamping them, because all materials may not have stretch. Some of the materials may be too heavy to do such stuff and so on and so forth. Then that's where I would make the suggestion to change it, or if it can stay, then it can stay.
So where did you get this creative eye from, though? I mean, we look at things, we don't like them and we throw them away, but you see beauty in those things. So where did you get this creative eye from?
Well, basically, it would have to be from art, because I like drawing and painting. I like drawing and painting going to school. So I would always paint like creative pictures and stuff from my mind and stuff, and then I would just want to actually, like, I used to like to draw characters. I think that's where the clothes come in, because then when I draw characters, I know draw them with certain outfits and stuff, and then like, this is the same that I would like to wear. And then if I'm home and I see it, like a shirt or something, I'm like, this look like it can make what I want. And then I will try it out and it will work out and then it'll be good. So then most of the time then I started drawing out ideas before I actually try to execute them.
Right.
So that is basically, if I just say no thinking and an idea come to my head, I will go and try it out, draw it out and stuff, and then see how it works, how it goes.
And then, so are you good at sewing as well? Because you're going to be cutting and putting and repurposing. So you're the one who also does the sewing?
Yes, sir.
You do all of this by yourself?
I get into sewing because of my mom. She was a needleworker also. So I used to watch she all the time how she used the machine. And then I would use the machine like that also. I started out at first doing hand stitching, but then she teach me my way around the machine, and then I get the hang of it.
So you operate from home and you have your own clientele. So now a number of people know who you are, Miss Crystal Harding, and they want to be a celeb too. They want to bring their material to you for you to repurpose for them. So how can people find you so that they can avail themselves of your service?
I'm located in Canada Hill, Christchurch. But most of the time, if some persons can't make it to me, I will meet them. I could also meet them different places and stuff if they want, because I know everybody not able to get places and stuff.
Right. But we can find you on Instagram, right? And we can contact you through Instagram as well.
Yes, sir.
What's your Instagram handle?
Celeb Me Please and Celeb Customs.
Okay. Is it celeb.me.please?
Yes, sir.
All right, we want to make sure, you know, celeb.me.please, and you will find Crystal Harding there, and she can make some beautiful things. And at you're such a young, tender age of 20, you're doing very, very well. Are you excited about the business? Do you see it growing?
Yes, right now I am excited about where it's going and stuff. I just waiting for my machines to get back so I could continue, because right now it's temporarily closed. Because machines is be service and stuff, so when I get them back, then I'll be able to continue with my orders and stuff, which I'm very excited to do because I love to sew now.
I love the fact you said it like that. I love it indeed. Crystal Harding, we want to wish you the very best, really, because this looks like something that you are passionate about. And so whole of Barbados wants to support you in this as well as one of our exceptional young people. Custom Me Please and Celeb Customs, those are some... Celeb Me Please. You ready to laugh? Laugh at me. Celeb Me Please and Celeb Customs. Those are the two businesses owned by Crystal Harding, and you can find her on Instagram, celeb.me.please and celeb_customs_, and you'll find her there. So avail yourselves of her service, folks. Give her a check out and let her really make you look like the celeb that you intend to be. Crystal, all the best for the future. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. It's 24 minutes now past the hour of 7 o'clock. We're taking a break. Come back. There's much more on Morning Barbados. It's 25 minutes after 7 o'clock. These young people are truly, truly exceptional and they are truly inspiring. Our next is Aisha Edwards. Aisha, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Aisha?
I am good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Now, Aisha, you are the owner, listen to that word, the owner of Crown by Isha. Well done.
Please.
And you're only, what, 19 years old?
Yes, please.
How does it feel to hear the word in your ears that you are the owner? How does that sound to you?
It sounds amazing.
Sounds amazing. I love that.
Yes,
now, did you go to the Ellerslie School?
Yes, please.
So talk to me about your journey through Ellerslie and owning your business. What did you do at Ellerslie and then own your business?
Okay, so at Ellerslie, I studied business management, which will be POB. I also did maths and English, just the usual subjects. From there, I went to the Barbados Community College. But at Ellerslie, they helped me with photography, which is one of the key things that you need for a business currently, taking pictures and stuff. So that's it.
So you're part of the photography club at Ellerslie and you did all of that kind of work there. They trained your eye for what you're doing and you wanted to follow your passion into business. And so you went into the community college to continue that passion. So at community college, what was the program like studying? What was it? Was it business management?
I studied business management and marketing.
How intensive was that?
It was actually fun. I learned new things that, as I said, will help with the business in terms of marketing research. So all of the little things that you need to know how to run a business, market it, advertise it, also managing, because I also have a team. So, I was able to know how to go about managing and helping each other to do what is supposed to be done.
Have you always been this go-getter? Have you always been this person who is able to corral a lot of people around you to get done what you want to get done?
Yes, please. I have a very down-to-earth personality.
And it works for you, right? It works for you.
Yes, please.
So now you own your business. The phones are going already, seeing you on TV. So now you own your business, Crown by Isha. Tell us about the business that you own.
Okay, so Crown by Isha is a natural multi-collection body care line. It will include body lotions, body butters, body mist, all of those things. But the reason for the business is supposed to find the best versions of themselves, as well as being very creative. So with photography, watching my dad, did his stuff, and saying that photos can bring such a joy to people, I was like, well, I want to add that to my products as well, in terms of people can express themselves the way they wish to with the different fragrances. So for right now, the current fragrance is Hello Summer. So being in terms of a summer, people can remember how and what they really enjoy about summer, so they can express themselves that way.
All right, so you've done a line of body lotions. I like the pictures are stunning in itself, So you've got the body lotion, and you've got, what else do you have in that line?
Lotion, body wash, and body mist. I created my body mist myself. I do my fragrances myself.
So talk to me about the process of doing that, because it's trial and error. You got to get it right. So how did the science of the whole thing was astounding for a lot of people. How do you know to add this to get that result?
Firstly, I want to give a shout out to Miss Cook. She was the lady who helped me with creating and formulating the recipes. So she taught me exactly the step-to-step guideline. Also, I did enough research on the internet, so that research from BCC helped some people.
Yes. Packaging and labeling, all of that, I know it's part of your business course, of course, but to having access to get it done the way you want it to look, how difficult is that?
At first, it was very difficult. Sometimes searching on the internet, you can get this in terms of things may carry you someplace else differently. So it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, late nights, trying to find the right source.
But you're going for natural scents, and I know the one that we just shared the scene, the coconut scent right away. We connect right away. What are you going for that are natural?
My next collection will be relating to in terms of like a warm little smell.
Vanilla.
So it's related to, because the next collection will be something related to gold.
Yes.
So yes, please.
Right, so already you're thinking right down, you have a plan. You clearly have a plan. At 9 years old, your classmates from Ellerslie and from the college, if they were to see you right now, hear you talking about all of this, would they be surprised, Aisha is?
No, they won't be surprised because you're from secondary school, being on the platform, representing the school on the news things. So this is nothing new to them. They always say, well, Aisha, you are like a role model. You inspire me to go and do my own business, keep pushing. So this is nothing new to them.
Wow. Crown by Aisha. And I know that you've been able to pull in a number of other people as well. You're working with some business owners, some of other young entrepreneurs. What that next stage of what else you do?
Currently, right now, I'm doing 4 weeks of giveaways with 30 plus small businesses in Barbados. So I teamed up to give aways to our customers, our future customers as well, so that we could get all ready for summer, knowing how we was home, how things was a little rough on the side, but we try to make it as fun as possible.
That's nice that you've been open up to embrace other small, and I mean there are a number of them that you're doing, and you're going to be having, I think, shortly, an opportunity for Barbadians to experience who people that you work with are. Tell me about what's coming up.
Okay, so currently this Saturday at Sky Mall, I will be having a sample day. Also, the other small business owners will meet me there as well. So other customers and future customers can see them and speak to them as well. Currently for the launch day, because Crown by Aisha grand launch is going to be on the 31st of July. Instagram at Crown by Aisha, and I will also include the other businesses as well.
Very good. You're not just thinking of yourself, you're assisting others as you go. Crown by Aisha. Aisha Edwards is her name. She's the owner of this conglomerate. It sounds as if you're going to be growing to something really, really large. There's her Instagram page, Crown by Aisha, C-R-O-W-N, Crown, B-Y, E-S-H-A, Aisha, E-S-H-A, Crown by Aisha. And you can avail yourself of any of her product range, and you can simply just contact her right there. And I'm sure that Miss Aisha Edwards will be happy to expose her product to you. It's so good. But we also have a chance to win weekly, right, Aisha?
Yes, please.
How can people win? How can they avail themselves of your giveaways?
Okay, so each page that is taking partnership with the giveaway, because currently, as you can see, Welcome July includes 6 or 7 businesses, and you can see the requirements there on the post in the caption.
Like the post, follow the page, comment and tag 3 friends, of course. And those are the opportunities for you to win. So get over to Crown by Aisha now on Instagram and get cracking. You could win. Aisha, it is a tremendous pleasure meeting you today as a student of the Ellerslie School through the Barbados Community College, now owning at 19 years old your own line. And clearly you have a focus that is so exceptional. We wanted to meet you today. Aisha, thank you for joining us. You're for us too one of our exceptional young people. The stars are yours, Aisha. Go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Meeting you, so have a nice day.
Likewise. Thank you so much for joining. 25 minutes to 8 o'clock. Our young man we'll get to meet this morning right after this break. We're just seconds away from 23 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock, and this next young person is a young man who is currently studying for his bachelor's in construction management. His name is Aluko Calendar. What an interesting first name. Aluko Calendar, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Your first name is very different. Have you ever questioned what it means?
So everyone on my father's side of the family has like African names, so I think it's like a prince in Africa.
All right, so you're a prince in Barbados now, Aluko Calendar. Welcome.
Yes,
are you currently overseas or are you on the island?
No, I'm back on island.
You're back on island. All right. Now you play football, but you're also very much into construction management. You're doing your bachelor's in that. You've already done your associates. Why that particular course of study, construction management?
Well, I have always been interested in architecture or engineering, and that was what my school was offering, so I just thought, why not go down that path?
But you went into St. Michael's School. While at St. Michael's, did you see yourself eventually going into construction management as a course of study?
I was really into woodwork and technical drawing, so it only made sense for me.
A natural fit. But football, let's talk about that too. That's your other passion, your other real passion, because any day perhaps we could find you somewhere outside kicking a ball. So talk to me a little bit about this passion that you have for football.
So I grew up in Hoardersville watching my cousins play football. They were really good, so it was only natural that I went down that path as well, and I just realized I had like a knack for it, so I continued to develop and went to a better club and ended up excelling there.
How do you know you had a knack for it? What was it that you discovered?
Well, when I was receiving compliments and the coaches were giving me encouragement at such a young age, then I realized.
Then you realized that you had something that other people saw in you that made you the footballer who you are. But then you went through the Barbados Soccer Academy. Talk to us about that journey through the Soccer Academy.
So the Barbados Soccer Academy is a great institution. It's very different from other clubs I have played for here, as the focus is mainly on academics. Like Jack Bevell would stress on the SAT, coming to SAT classes and just practicing past papers so that you could do well on the exam. And yeah, that's basically it.
But you know, football in itself, you know, there are people who watch it and think, you know, get inside and get to your books. You're going to St. Michael's School, you're not just going to some other school. And did you ever have that battle with your parents?
In terms of what, sorry?
Get inside rather than be outside kicking around the ball.
Oh, no, it was definitely about striking that balance. So, like, you just try to finish it. Sometimes I would just rush home and try to rush my work, and then I would go outside and get some ball work in.
You were that passionate about football. You just had to have time with the ball.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about it. Did you see this CONCACAF game with Barbados and where was it? Bermuda, I think it was. Not Bermuda. The game
that we
lost. Yeah, we lost, 8-1. Did you see that game?
Yes, I did, actually.
Tell me, how did you feel about our performance?
So it was a disappointing result, to be honest, because when I tuned into the game, I was like, well, the guys are actually playing pretty well. They just had to tighten up on defense a bit. And yeah, I actually thought the team was going in a good direction, whereas they implemented a lot of the younger age groups into the senior national team, and they're trying to build from there. And along with the experience of the international players, I thought that was a good move on the coach's part. But yeah, as I said, the result was pretty disappointing, so they should definitely rethink and try to move forward from there.
What would you suggest that the team does going forward from here?
Right, so as I said, they were going a right direction, so it's just a matter of thinking about it, just reflecting on where they went wrong in the game defensively and moving forward from there.
All right. How old are you, by the way?
I am 21 years old.
You're 21. You're doing your bachelor's in construction management. Football is all of those things. Did you ever see yourself at this stage of your life, at 21 years old, being who you are, passionate about football, doing your degree in construction management, and feeling as settled as you are? Are you achieving those goals?
Well, Yes, these are things I actually wrote on a little whiteboard. If I could turn the camera to show you, like it's something that I basically manifested. This and I wanted, so I always envision myself in these shoes.
So you saw it and you worked towards it. That's what you're saying to me.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
How do you
100%.
So that then it was a juggling between studying, going classes, you know, training at football, a whole host of things, even working out in the gym. That's time management. That's time management. How did you manage your time throughout?
So in Barbados, it's definitely a bit more difficult at time as I have friends here and there's lots to do. But when you go over, it's a very strict schedule. Like someone will plan your schedule for you, basically planned around football and your education. So it's definitely pretty easy.
So where did you go overseas to study, or where are you studying overseas?
I went to St. Charles Community College initially, and I spent 2 years there, and now I received an offer from college in Mississippi, so I'll be moving on there.
When do you plan to move?
So preseason starts in August, so I should be moving then.
So you're getting yourself what?
Yes, for sure.
Excited?
Yes, I'm very excited.
What scares you most, though?
Just that the place might not be a right fit for me because you go to these places without actually visiting before, so that's my only concern.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to other young men who love the ball around but may have not have found their way forward? What do you?
I would say just keep going at it. Is basically failing upwards, as I would say, or just learning from your mistakes and going.
Keep going at it.
Yes.
All right. I want to encourage you to keep going at it as well. Aluko Calendar is his name. You're one of our inspirational young people today. All the best for you in this journey through football and through in construction and management as well. And when do you wrap up your degree?
I should be finished in the next 2 to 3.
All right, so another 2 to 3 years, we'll see you back here lending your expertise. We'll need it here as well. As you would have seen just recently with the passing, you know how Barbados fared. So we'll need some as well. So don't stay there for too long. Come back and lend your expertise to us.
Yes, for sure.
All right, Aluko, thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, lastly, I just wanted to mention our capital markets, our sponsors for the Barbados Soccer Academy.
All right, thank you for telling us that. Thank you. Aluko Calendar is his game. Football is his game, but you know what? He's been able to balance academics and sports, and he's doing very well for himself. And I think for parents, I think hopefully over the weeks, you've been getting that do not deny the opportunity for your child to be a part of sports. It engenders a discipline that adds to their academics as well. We're back after this. Our next exceptional young person is an impressionist painter, and his name is Brandon Best. Brandon, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm actually surprised I woke up enough.
Oh, you're one of those late risers, as your mother would say, a little lazy.
Well, early, but 30 early. Whew.
You did it. It's not going to hurt. You see? It's not going to hurt at all. For someone who is wondering, what is an expressionist painter? What would you say?
An expressionist painter is just somebody who often paints from their imagination or a twist on reality. So that would be like surrealism, like some popular painters such as like Salvador Dali, or the most famous painter of all, of course, would be Pablo Picasso. He's very much an expressionist painter. Jackson Pollock, who's known for his splashes, etc.
So paint from your imagination, you say. So you then, so whatever you imagine, whatever it is, whatever color, whatever it is, then you put that onto canvas. Is that what I'm reading you to say?
Yes, and for example, even though I'm painting a lot of references from my professional life as a waiter and bartender, even when I'm painting and that's the references that I am painting towards, I'm still adding some bizarreness to it because I'm influenced by a lot of graffiti. So in my artwork, I often create characters based on that.
So when we look at your art, we're just seeing the craziness of your mind.
Yep.
At any given time, is whatever Brandon is thinking, Brandon splashes to the canvas, so to speak. Now, that could be in itself a little bit dangerous because we can read the mind and we can be a little either scared or not by what we see you put to the canvas.
It's actually difficult because very recently I began to realize that I can't hide the way I feel when it comes to producing my paintings, even if I'm trying to portray a particular scene.
Yes.
And no matter what color scheme I use, whatever, like however I feel, it's going to translate. Sometimes it feels that way to me, but may not for the viewer. But sometimes it's better that way.
Can you resist it? Can you resist pouring your mind onto the canvas?
I've tried, but then I don't feel that satisfied with the piece. I feel like I'm not being honest, and then I end up restarting it anyway, which is something that I often do.
No, this is interesting because then you're revealing. I'm sure at some point you think you're revealing too much of yourself. So, talk to me about the skill in itself. Who taught you this skill, or is it self-taught?
That's a complicated question because for the most part, a lot of what I understand about art came from secondary school and college. So that would include the Codrington International School, which is in St. John, it's in Society. And my teacher was Carla Heinz, a German lady, and everything that I understand about art technically and historically is through her. And I would say I only took art more seriously to the extent that I could do it in about fourth form. And she encouraged me all from fourth form to upper six. But after upper six, I was dead sure I was going to be an architect or a lawyer, and that's where my life was heading. But then fast forward to 2019, I was in a point in time where I needed to express myself, and I thought, let me not pick back up painting and drawing after it'd been like 4 or 5 years since I stopped. And here we are now. So all thanks to Carla Heinz, my art teacher. She just retired this year, actually, and I'm really excited for her.
Well, here we are now. But somewhere along the line, you were also very passionate about culinary arts. So
yes,
how does that tie into being an expressionist painter? Culinary arts.
Oh, well, it's funny you ask because I actually have an exhibition coming up in 2 weeks, and the theme is food. And the title of the exhibition is Food for Thought. It's actually going to be at the Senses Marché Cafe from July 24th to the 31st. So, as culinary art relates to my artwork, well, yes, every now and again I do paint food, and sometimes even in the title I put a play on words. But food for me has been it should be fun, and it's something that should be shared. And I feel that art should have the same attitude. And these ideas are what is cultivating the exhibition that I have coming up.
All right, July 24th, you said it is, Food for Thought. And I like that because now you're going to be able to... What is it? Just out of curiosity, would it be just simply your impressions of different dishes or other things that would trigger the mind?
Well, funnily enough, it's not only me, it's actually three other artists also. So it's myself, Kaz, H.G. Fields, Donnie Haynes, and Mario Holder. And the four of us are, even though we're working with one theme, is from our each unique perspective. So for example, I worked in the hospitality industry, so I'm gonna have my unique perspective on what it is that I paint. Kaz is very much more political, so his artwork, even though it's going to be within food, is going to be very much politically driven, like whether it's international affairs or local agricultural issues, whatever the case may be. Donne may paint about food as it relates to identity and culture. Mario, similar, but also in the more health conscious route. So that's the intention of Food for Thought, that it's bringing to light a lot of issues and expressions of the youth and persons living in Barbados, and expressing that through food. So it's kind of like we're expressing ourselves, but food is just a disguise of what it is that we're actually saying.
Yes, I got you. Now, when we watch TV, we see oftentimes painters are such eccentric people. They want to be shut off into a room. Don't disturb me, I'm crafting in my own space. Would you describe yourself similarly?
I went through that phase in quarantine last year for about 4 months. Imagine this, for 4 months, for 5 days in a week, I was doing one painting per day. So do the math. That's basically 20 paintings a month for 4 months.
Wow.
So, and I was very much obsessive. Every morning I would be like, Mom, look what it was getting to the point where even she was getting sick of it, which I can understand now. But I would say now my work ethic is still there, but I'm not as crazy and obsessive as I used to be. I've calmed down. I'm actually trying my best to not give people that impression that all artists have to be a little, you know, because we come in many different flavors and types. And
yes. So here we are looking at some of your work that you would have crafted and created, and you know, the brush stroke, all of those are going to be so very critical as people watch your work. And would this be a part of the exhibition coming up as well? You know, it's about food for thought, but it's not just about food alone.
Right. So the pieces that we're being shown here, these aren't going to be in the exhibition. It's only as of tomorrow that I'm announcing it, and then I believe from next Monday you'll see at least 2 pieces from me personally to promote the upcoming show.
All right. So when you look at your work, because you know sometimes I'll use myself as an example for a moment. I'd record some audio work and I listen again to it and I'm thinking, did I say that right? Did I do that? I don't think I like the way I pronounce this word or whatever the case may be. When you look back at your work, do you critique it in that kind of way?
Rarely do I do it anymore, because whatever it is that I thought within that moment to paint or smear or scrape off, like I leave it as it is. And I hope that my intentions are then being translated to the viewer. I mean, for example, my girlfriend may say, I don't think you're saying what you think you're saying. And I will have the attitude of, well, I'm not changing it.
Yes. So when she says something like that to you, I think you're saying what you're not saying. What crosses your mind when you get that kind of a reaction?
Well, I know what she's referring to. She's referring to visual cues. Like, for example, if you're showing a happy face, the person should be smiling, right? Or if they're mad, they should look like, you get what I'm saying? So even though I don't want to take her advice initially, as typical men, eventually over time we start to think about it more, and I go back to her and I'm like, you know what, babe, you are right.
Yes.
I may not apply the changes to that piece, but I keep mindful of it for future pieces. And
so you're a young man and you're Brandon Best, you're an expressionist painter, and is this your life's career path that you're going to follow then as an expressionist painter?
I feel that throughout my lifetime I'll always be an artist. I'm not sure if I'll always be painting per se. I may get into sculpture or costume making, who knows. But funnily enough, at university, at UWE Cave Hill, I study political science because I found that from my upbringing, I was fairly sheltered, and I find that in my young adult years now, I want to understand and know more about the island around me as it is and our history and such. So just so I could be a more informed citizen. So I'll see how my studies impact not only my artwork, but what kind of role I play within our society.
I'm excited that here is we're looking at your website, brandonkbest.com, brandonkbest.com, and you're offering some pieces for sale as well. So we want to encourage people to go check it out and support. This is really great work, Brandon, that you're able to do and that you've been able to do for a little while. You're still, how old are you now?
23.
Little boy, so to speak, 23 years old, young man, but you're doing very well, Brandon Best, and I want to commend you. We wanted to meet you today to celebrate who you are and your creativity as a very enterprising and exceptional young man. Thank you. I want people to come to your website and really engage with your pieces as well. And when I say engage, not just buy, but also think. Use your head just a little bit and think. See it through Brandon's eyes as an expressionist painter. You know, I'm looking forward to the exhibition coming up. You'll keep us informed so that we can let everyone know about it, all right?
Thank you. And again, don't forget Food for Thought at Census Marché from July 24th to the 31st.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. brandonkbest.com. brandonkbest.com. Before we go, we just want to let you know that today, Thursday, the National Distinguished Teachers Virtual Awards ceremony will take place. That ceremony is going to be broadcast on RF Bank and Trust's YouTube channel, and it will include remarks from Senator Dr. Rommel Springer and Lamar Goring of RF Brokerage Manager. So you're invited to watch, really, and honor the latest NDTA's inductee, the National Distinguished Teachers Virtual Awards ceremony taking place today. Go to that YouTube channel and you can see it, RF Bank and Trust, and watch. And let's celebrate the goodness of our teachers as well. It's another opportunity for you to be a part. Also want to remind you that coming up this Saturday night on TV8 right here and on radio, preliminary #1 in our Kaiso Champion competition, you will get to vote who are the 6 to go through to the finals of the Kaiso Champion competition. But watch, and then vote on Saturday. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us. We celebrate our young people. We celebrate youth. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.